Welcome back, guys. Thanks for stopping by for another sesh with Martyr. Today we're going to be checking out the fundamentals and basics of base building in the deep desert, specifically to accommodate larger groups, parties, and guilds that would need adequate storage for carriers, crawlers, multiple assault and scout ornithopters, things along that line. And if you didn't know, resources, building, and everything cost half as much in the deep desert. So it's a gigantic benefit to have some operation, some structure, some form of safety that you're going to need out here in the deep desert, just to maintain any kind of foothold that you would have otherwise acquired along the way, let's say. And without further ado, there's just three main components of understanding the bare necessities of base building in the deep desert. First and foremost is your base location. Choosing that is vitally important, specifically because of the locations of resource nodes, spice fields. Your location is vitally important, so choose carefully. A lot of folks will build along the A-row walls, the shield walls, for the abundance of titanium and stravidium nodes. The deep desert is extremely dynamic, and it's constantly evolving and ever-changing. Each week, you don't know if you're going to come into, or what you're going to come into. Your nodes are sparsely located throughout the map, strategically with the higher abundancies further out in the PvP zones. That brings me to the next key factor, and that is plan your supply lines. From week to week, you're gonna run into specific needs, whether they're the needs of the many or the needs of the few. The needs are going to remain nonetheless, and the quickest route from point A to point B of ensuring high efficiency in whatever resources that you're gathering, whether it's spice or making plastanium, whatever your goal is for that week is going to dictate your location. Okay, so that's key factor number 2. And then managing your power is also vitally important. Keep in mind, the larger your base, the more power it's going to consume. I highly recommend, if you have to use more than 2 staking units, whether it's vertical or horizontal, but I highly recommend if you have to use more than 2 staking units, that you bring some spice generators out into the deep desert. Otherwise, you're going to be killing yourself trying to keep up with demand from fuel cells. So that's just something to keep in mind for the new players and current players alike. And we may make another video to address that one day. But this video specifically is on how to efficiently and quickly build a base with a replicator. And if you aren't familiar with what that is, it's just a handheld device similar to the vehicle storage backup tool that you can use to replicate and rebuild a blueprint of an existing base. It would be a lot easier to build your first build in the Haga Basin. And what we're going to do today is show you how to build off of a 4x4 square. So what you're going to need are 4 vertical staking units and whatever materials you're planning to use, preferably plastone, but to each their own. If you want to use granite, I've seen tons of granite bases out here that survive the entire week. So do what you do. What I'm going to show you today are the mechanisms involved in building a tall vertical guild base quickly, and it doesn't matter the location. The finicky part about using a replicator out here in the deep desert is that the ground dang near has to be perfectly level and clear of all obstructions, including rocks. And the bigger your base, the harder it is to replicate it. So the idea here is to minimize the footprint that we're creating to build our base with. For the sake of simplicity, we are going to build it out here in front of my existing base, simply because the storm is coming through and we'll need to break everything down anyway. So what you're going to want to start with on this is a simple square. And again, it really doesn't matter. And that's it. That is the entirety of your base and what it will rest upon. We simply are going to place 2 of these. One here, like so. And then for the other 2, same concept, you're just turning it 90 degrees. And there you have it, fam. From here, it is just a matter of building upward and outward. And it is simply a matter of building outward from here. Awesome, awesome. Right now, we've got a nice little base to build from. Usually on this first level, I'll place a couple of these small storage bins just to get it started. Have a place to dump some stuff. And if I have it, a generator. I don't have the materials right now, so. And from there, it's really just a matter of how creative you want to be with the design process. If you don't know how far out you can go on a grid from a structural anchor point, then this isn't the video for you. There are a plethora of beginner and fundamental base building techniques, and there are all types of fantastically creative designs to go from. But specifically, I just want to create an easy, short video that everyone could understand and simply digest and build from, and how to take the bare minimum as the base to build from there. And in some cases, if you don't have that big of a guild, you probably don't even need 4, but I would stick with 4 just to be on the safest side. That's the first part of the video. The second part of this video is how we're going to maintain maximum square footage to allow enough space for a carrier and maintain structural integrity. That is key. So you can easily see how quickly and efficiently this would become a guild base. I don't recommend putting it on sand, obviously. It would work just as well up here, but for the sake of demonstration in this video, I have to use what we're working with. You know, I wanted to get this video up for the sake of simplicity and just communicating basic information. And also to give a shout out, Bernard KU from Reddit, with specific questions on how to build a guild base large enough to accommodate multiple carrier ornithopters. And I had mentioned that I have numerous videos all over my YouTube where we live stream and whatnot discussing this, and no, he called me out on it because I don't have a basic video covering this. I wanted to get this out there for Bernard. I appreciate you, homie. It's on the agenda. In due time, please know, Bernard, I'm going to have a very full, comprehensive breakdown on start to finish how to do this bad boy, okay? But for now, I wanted to just convey the concept so you understood and help others understand. You could see how easy it would be if you have the max number of vertical staking units. That's also the second half. We're going straight up and we're keeping our structural integrity centralized over these 4 squares. So we're never going to build further out than we're allowed, but that's okay, because 1 stack is going to be for a carrier and a harvester, and then right above it, it's going to be another level for our second carrier and harvester. And above that's where we put our assault ornithopters, and above that's where we put our scout ornithopters, until ultimately you have that wonderful looking Tower of Sauron out in the deep desert. And shout out to our guild contractor and architect, Buff and Stuff. He really did a number on this week's build. I wouldn't necessarily recommend trying that build out on one of the replicators, but I have no doubt a little bit of ingenuity and creativity, you certainly can make it work and probably improve upon what we've done. This was actually his first attempt at building a nice little tower like that, but I wanted you guys to see. I'm going to revisit the full breakdown comprehensive video of this base build start to finish. We will get to that within the week, hopefully before the free weekend. I just wanted to get this video out before the sandstorm blows through tomorrow So maybe Tuesday, Bernard and his gang and a few of you others might be able to come up with something pretty unique and worth bragging about. And if you do, please come back to Reddit and tell everybody about it, or at least tell me about it, because I want to know. And I appreciate you, Bernard, your engagement, and everybody. As always, the love in the community is just fantastic. All of you are wonderful, and I appreciate all of the love and support that you guys provide. Again, this is Martyr getting ready to sign off for the evening, but I do appreciate you guys coming by and showing some love, and we'll see you on the next one, fam. Until then, be good or be good at it.